Welcome back to We Should Talk. I'm Amber, joined by my co-host Megan. We're just two trauma therapists creating a space to talk in a way that feels real. And here's what we're going to be diving into in today's episode. Why we say we're fine even when we're struggling, how your family growing up shaped how you express or don't express your emotions, what vulnerability actually has to do with real connection, the link between trauma responses and emotional masking, and some real practical ways to start communicating more authentically with the people you love in your life and with yourself. We're also going to be diving into our favorite Bravo reality TV shows and sharing some personal stories too. Also, on this episode and in episode 1, you're going to notice a little bit of feedback and static on my microphone. And I want you to just bear with us. Please, we do have this fixed by episode 3. We're still figuring stuff out ourselves. Hey guys, how's everybody doing this week? It's Amber and Megan. Welcome to We Should Talk.
Hello, welcome back.
How are you? How are you doing today?
Good. Today I'm doing well. It's really rainy here outside of Chicago. There's like really big storms happening.
Same.
Yeah, I figured it's probably exactly the same there, which is a bummer. We're supposed to go see Mumford & Sons tonight at Wrigley Field, which I'm like was so excited for. They have not officially canceled it yet, but it's saying between like 5 and 10 p.m. potential tornadoes. So not going to leave my 3-year-old and dogs with a high schooler to deal with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Tornadoes are so freaking scary. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Terrifying. So that's
that's such a bummer.
I know. It's a bummer, but hopefully, fingers crossed, they like officially cancel it and then reschedule it so we can still go. But we'll see. Yeah. But I just
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I would think so. And I hope that they don't still go on, like still try and make it happen. That would be wild, but
that would be really dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. I've been stalking their Instagram page, being like, okay, any updates, but nothing yet. So we'll see. But I just scarfed down a Potbelly sandwich, which was great. Feeling good after that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. How are you? How are you over there?
Good. I was just thinking, have you seen Mumford & Sons live before?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw them in, I think it was like 2012 in San Diego, and they did such a good job.
I know.
They're so good live.
So
they're one of those bands that they're even better live.
I know. They are. I saw them, I think probably same year, probably 2012 in New York. It was actually New Jersey. It was like right across the water, like in this park across the water. So like they had the stage, and then like behind them literally is like the New York City skyline. It was like, it was such a cool show, cool night.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I know.
That's so cool. I would love to live in New York City at some point in time. Maybe when we're older. Definitely not with kids.
Yes, I would highly, highly recommend it. Do you know that I lived there for a while? I don't know if I've talked about that.
Because you went to NYU, right?
Right. Yeah. So I went there for undergrad and then stayed for grad school and then stayed like 6 more years after. So I was there for like a good 11 years, I think, before coming back this way. So I miss
That's
it.
cool. That is really cool. So like basically your 20s. Your 20s were in.
Yeah, we're in New York.
In NYC.
Yeah. It was fun.
Oh my gosh, that's like Sex in the City life. I love it. Even though they all were older, but still.
Right.
Fun.
I would say given the college grad school aspect of it, it felt more like girls a little bit.
Oh yes, that makes more sense.
It's so funny. At the time, I remember like watching Girls, and I'm like, this is a little too real. But I just rewatched it, I think last year at some point, and I'm like, oh, this is nostalgic. So
I never got into that show, but I heard it's so good.
It is good. It's good. I think worth a watch at some point for sure.
But
tell me, how are you? What's new on your end of things?
I'm doing good. We've just been enjoying summer break at my house. My husband's smoking brisket today for the first time ever.
Amazing.
And so he's very excited. And
wow.
I feel like it's like mid-30s vibes going on at our house right now. He has like his whole tent set up, and it's like, it's going to take this long. And he's very excited, and we're all very excited. So,
so good. So good.
That's what's going on with us. And then I don't think I've ever shared this with you. My middle son has really bad food allergies to a
Okay.
bunch of different things.
Uh-huh.
But we just got cleared to give him sesame for the first time. So
Wow.
yesterday he had his first sesame intake
Amazing.
and
Oh,
he passed his little challenge. So he can have buns and bread because most of the buns
thank
and
God.
bread all
Hmm.
contain
All
sesame.
have sesame. Right.
Yes. So that's why it's like such a big deal. So he had his
Right.
first McDonald's cheeseburger today
Oh,
and
that's so
he was very
exciting.
adamant. He's like, Mom, please share about this on Facebook. Please tell the world.
Tell the world I can
So,
have
ladies
this.
and gentlemen, Oliver can now have
Yes,
sesame. And it's a really
sesame.
big deal
Oh,
in a
this
food
is so
allergy
exciting.
household.
Wow, wow. Can I ask, because actually Michael is also allergic to sesame, what
Oh.
what was his response? Like what happened?
Well, so it's really interesting with sesame specifically. So we found out he had a bunch of food allergies when he was one.
Huh.
He had never actually tried sesame. They just tested his IgE levels for it because
Uh-huh.
it was in the top 9 food allergens, and his
Sure.
numbers were really high, but
Okay.
he had never actually ingested it at any point
Got
in
it.
time,
Mm-hmm.
unless he did it like through bread or something that we
Sure.
didn't know about.
No.
But so
Mm-hmm.
he had never actually had a formal reaction to sesame.
Got it. Okay.
Um, he had had a formal reaction to eggs and to nuts. And so, but sesame was just one of those things. The allergist was just like, his numbers are just too high. Just don't even let
Yeah,
him
don't
have
go
it.
near it.
So we
Mm-hmm.
just never let him have it. But his numbers have gone down. And then they
Good.
like retest things over
Uh-huh.
time.
Right.
And they retested his levels, and his levels had gone down a lot. And he'd outgrown a ton of, he was allergic to milk. He was allergic to, I mean, pretty much everything, like wheat, soy, like anything you could think of, he was allergic to, and
Yeah.
he's slowly outgrown all of them. So they
Thank
told us like,
goodness.
well, sesame was negative for the skin test, so just go ahead and try it at
Go for
home.
it.
So we got to try it, and he
Yes.
was so excited. So
Oh,
yeah, but
that's
he had
huge.
like, so he'd never really had sesame that we know
Mm-hmm.
of.
Wow. Okay. That is so great. So great to
How about
hear.
for Michael?
Yeah.
How did you guys find
He's
that out? Hummus or
he hummus. Yes, hummus. He's allergic to chickpeas. Like when we gave him hummus when he was a
oh my
baby, he's like had
so
a
you're
red
a food
rash.
allergy mama too.
Hmm.
Oh
Yep.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Peanuts. Yeah, we're peanuts.
Uh, I did
But
not know
luckily,
that.
luckily he can have almonds. Like he's not just peanuts. So he can have almonds. Like we live on almond butter. Like he loves that. Thank
Hmm.
goodness. But
Hmm.
peas, like peas, chickpeas, peanuts, sesame are the big ones for him. So
Mm.
yeah, but there was a time where like we were literally out to Portillo's. I don't know if you've ever been to Portillo's. It's a very Chicago thing. So
Oh
good.
yeah. Hmm.
But we were like having cheeseburgers and I look over and all of a sudden I like see them on the bun. I'm like, stop. And so like
Yes.
he took one bite and he was luckily fine. But we switched it out and they gave us a non-sesame seed one. But it's so scary to have your kid have these allergies and like walking around with the EpiPen and you know his all of his
Mm.
reactions have only ever been just like a hive or you know rash, nothing extreme, thank God. But obviously you're always worried about that.
Absolutely. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and it's so unpredictable. So you guys do have an EpiPen, but you've never
hmm
had to use the
never
EpiPen.
had to use it. Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have you ever had to?
I have. I've had to use it once, and it turned out it was actually he had the stomach flu.
Oh.
He wasn't even having an allergic reaction, but he was like
Oh.
projectile vomiting.
Hmm.
And I was just
Yeah.
terrified that he had
Yeah.
ingested something and he was like
Sure.
all his lips were swollen. So I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I epied him and they were at the hospital. They were just like, oh no, I think it's just a typical 24-hour stomach flu. And then I
Wow.
had caught the stomach flu after that. So that's how I knew
So
it
you
was the
knew
stomach flu.
for sure.
Um, but in a way it was kind of good because I felt so scared to epi him. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was terrified of it. And
Yep.
once we did it and everything, I just kind of that fear just went away. I was just like, oh, it's not even
Okay. It's
that
not a
big of a
big deal.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
helpful to hear.
yeah, it really isn't. It's like a tiny little shot. And then he's had
Uh-huh.
to be epied from an allergic reaction to antibiotics, but we were already
Ooh.
in the ER, so they did
Oh,
that
good. So they did it.
there. So it was perfect.
Whew.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh yeah, like I'll just epi me. Like he doesn't even
No big deal.
I
Just
mean, we
happy
don't do it all the
me.
time. Like we're just like, yeah, that sounds like a good time, but he's just not even scared of it anymore either. So I
Good.
think that's
Okay.
been really good.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, actually,
Wow.
now that I think about it, I think you did send me a message one time because I think I had posted Oliver like reading the ingredients, and I think you had said something
Probably.
about Michael having
Yeah.
food allergies too.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, it's a
Oh,
journey. It is a
it
journey
really is.
for them and for us.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so much.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, yeah,
Well, that sounds like a celebration this week.
yeah. It's a big
Um,
celebration.
yeah, and I'm curious, was there anything that felt heavy for you this week or anything that annoyed you more than it should have?
Ooh, good question. Oh, okay, we're getting deep here right away. We're just jumping in.
Just jumping in.
Um, yeah, I think something that kind of did feel heavy was the food allergy stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Even
sure.
though
Yeah.
it turned out to be a positive thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And Ollie was just so ecstatic. And even just going to this new allergist, because we ended up going to Riley's Children's Hospital for the first
Mm-hmm.
time, instead of our food allergist that we have that we normally see.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was really helpful because she was just, saying like we could try sesame, which the other allergist, was way more conservative. But she was like, I think a lot of people don't realize how the quality of life is impacted when they can't have all of these different things.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good. But then having to navigate Oliver's anxiety and
Mm-hmm.
our own anxiety. We want to take risks. We want him to
Mm-hmm.
live his most full life and
Mm-hmm.
to not be super anxious or afraid. And that's kind of how we tried
Right.
to navigate the food allergy journey. Like we have traveled internationally already. Like we have done things. We let him go to houses. Like when he was diagnosed at 1, I was like, what does this mean? Like he's never going to be able
I
to go to
know.
camp. He's never going to be
I
able to do this.
know.
And it just felt so heavy.
Mm.
And so I think it was just that. It's like, yes, there's this hopeful thing that we get to do. And what if he did have a reaction?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
You know?
What if? Yep. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh,
Yeah. So having to
it's so
sit with
much.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
holding both all at once. Whew,
Yeah.
that's
How
a
about you?
lot.
What felt heavy or actually
This
or annoyed you more than it should have?
Sure. This week I actually wanted to mention this. I had like last week we were talking about like what our attachment styles are and what they were and like
Mhm.
kind of what we are now, right? How I went more anxious and more secure. This week I had a moment of like a really anxious spiral that I have not felt to like this degree in like a very long time. Like in years.
Ooh.
And it was totally around. So for my book, I had submitted my first round of edits and sent it off to my editor, and she's like, great, I'll dive into this first thing next week. And that was last week. And then last week, like, she hadn't opened the file, she hadn't read it, like hadn't heard from her. And I was like, that's so weird because she's so quick to respond, like the most responsive, so great. And she hadn't responded. And then like we got to Monday and I was like, I'm starting to feel anxious that I haven't heard from her. And my mind, again, old old versions of me, like my mind went on such a journey of, does this mean like it's stuck, like maybe it's not good enough and they don't want to publish it anymore? And like I told myself all of these stories, and I knew, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know this is not accurate. Right? I'm like so aware that this is not actually happening, but it felt so real. And I was like, I remember like telling Mike, I'm like, whoa, I'm just like feeling really, really anxious about this. And then I, sent her an email on Monday just to like check in on timing of things. And then she didn't respond on Monday, which again, like she's someone that will like like normally will respond like day of. And I was like, this is so weird. Oh my goodness.
Do you feel
So
like you were worried that something happened to her, or were you
that crossed my
worried?
mind. I was like,
Okay.
I was going in many directions. It's so funny. I literally posted like a reel that was literally this. And I filmed it
Oh, I
before this
saw
ever
that one
happened.
when someone doesn't text you
Yes,
back or something.
back. Yeah.
Yes.
And like I filmed that before this ever, I felt this, which is so funny because I'm like, yes, all of that was happening for me. I'm like, is she okay? I hope everything's okay. Does she not want to work with me anymore? Is that like it literally went everywhere. And of course, the next morning she responds, all is well. She's like, yeah, I'm going to start. I haven't gotten into it just yet. I'm going to read it and by the 22nd, like everything that I was worried about was answered. But it was just so jarring to me, like, whoa. I remember I used to feel this all the time, like all the time in so many different ways. And it had
Mhm.
been such a long time since I felt it. And so yeah, I thought it was super, super interesting to feel through it, and also to know that, like, okay, what helped me in that moment was obviously talking about it, like talking about it to my husband, talking about it to Melissa, who is my developmental editor, who was kind of with me in the whole book journey. And, and everyone was like, it's all right. It's really okay. It's all good. And even though, I could hear it and believe it sort of, just, it was actually a really good reminder of what that experience is like and how it is really hard to get out of it. And when you haven't been in it for so long, it was like actually just like a good check-in with even, myself as a therapist, to remind myself, like, this is what that feels like, to even like help, to even better help clients who are in that state. Right. And like to connect to it more deeply. So in a way, it was like a really good, it was a good learning experience for me to like touch back with that part of me and relate to it again, to know, oh, right, that part's still there. Even though we feel like totally have become more secure, that anxiety can totally still come out and get a little wild here and there. But again, going through the cycle and realizing, like, okay, it's all fine. It's all good. And I think there's something that's also happening where I was in such a writing bubble for so long. I really got to take the writing pregnancy bubble for this first part of this year. And then I think, not surprising, literally, this is all happening in the same week that I'm like coming back online and being more visible and being more out there and more vulnerable. And I was, as I was processing it with Mike too, I was like, I think that also has something to do with it. All of a sudden, like, I'm getting jolted back into being seen. And I think where it relates to the book is that that's right, going to be very vulnerable, and I'm going to be very seen when people read that. And so I think there's something mixed in that, the kind of the whiplash of like, oh, I felt so safe and comfortable in just, living my life. And now here we are back in being more visible and seen by others. And again, how that can, rock your nervous system a little bit. So really interesting.
Yeah. I love that you're sharing this, because a couple things came up for me. One is that, do you ever feel like that happens when you're talking about your healing journey? You're like, yeah, I used to be this way, but I've
I'm
definitely
totally
moved
fine.
towards like way more secure now. Like, that old me. That was crazy, and then it never fails. The minute that you kind of feel like you're like, oh yeah, I'm past
totally
that,
fine.
something comes up that kind of reminds you that, oh wait, no, this still will come up from time to time, and it still needs tending to.
Yes, totally. Yes.
I feel like that always happens to me.
Yes. Literally, as it was happening, and like the day that this happened, I work from my mom's house so she can watch Michael that day. And I remember just sitting in the office, just being like, okay, what do I outline in the book? On how to do this. I'm going to see what I'm feeling. I'm going to attune to her, right? Like, I'm going to know it's not mine. Her lack of response is not my doing. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with her. And what can I do about it? I can reach out, right? I can send an email. I can do my part. And so I walked myself through all the steps, and, definitely felt better there. But it was just such a good reminder of, like, literally, okay, this is me tending and reparenting in real time in the moment.
Yes.
So,
yeah. And the other thing I was going to mention is that I feel like it happens when there are new levels of growth, right? And evolution. And for you writing the book, of course, stuff's going to come up about that. Of course, because you're reaching a new level in your journey, and there's so much vulnerability in that. Even being the person who's like, I can help people with this, feels so vulnerable. And then when you're having those moments, you're like, who am I to be helping people with this? When it's like, that's why you're the person to be helping people with this,
So true. It's so true. And, something I've always grappled with, especially, and we can both relate into, sharing and teaching and, connecting online, is I know, like, where I feel so good and so grounded and confident is in the one-to-one work with clients or, group, but just being live in person, being able to be present and grounded and witness. That is no problem to me. Could do that all day, every day, and feel really good and confident about it. I don't question it. But there is something in this when I'm putting this out there to you, but there is no there is no feedback, right? It's like, this is going out to a larger span of people where I don't get to interact back, right? If they have any thoughts or feelings, I don't get to engage or reflect. They're just going to read the words. And so that is, yeah, that's a piece of this that sometimes is some cognitive dissonance for me, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, thanks for naming that. 'Cause I'm going to remember that when it comes to my book, because I think you're right. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel this way too. I want to get to what we're going to talk about today, but I'm thinking about the content creation piece. And I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing that's so different is like you get that instant validation of whether or
It's
not it's
true.
resonating with people or it's
Yeah.
not, you know?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. But I feel like
Yep.
that's so different than the writing process because you don't
Yes.
know if it's going to resonate with
No.
people, you know?
No. Right. It's so true. And there's this like pressure of perfection, especially with like a lot of people in my life being like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is so great. Whoa. And so like, to me, I feel like, ooh, I'm just being set up to fail, right? Or the biggest fear is that it's not going to meet expectations. And so again,
Oh.
it hits this ultimate, obviously the perfectionist part of me that's like, oh my gosh, this book has to be everything for everyone. But of course it's not like it can't be. It can't be everything for everyone. Everybody's going to take away something different from it. Some people are going to love it. Some people are not. It's not going to be for them. And that is okay. Right. Like,
Yes. Yes.
and letting that be okay. And again, even when it comes to that, when it comes to the content piece, like I have to remind myself that all the time. Some things will resonate and they'll go to who they're meant to resonate with. And sometimes it won't. And again, that has nothing to do with me, actually. It really doesn't.
Yeah. And
So,
you just need to keep reminding yourself of that too. Those parts that are like,
yep.
no, I have to be perfect.
I
What if
know.
what if someone doesn't like it, you know? And I think
Mhm.
that speaks so much to just the art that you're
Yeah.
doing, right? As an artist, you're wanting people to resonate.
Of
You're saying, this
course.
is me. This is who I am. Do you accept it? Do you, you
Right.
know,
Do you like it?
yeah, do you like it? Oh my gosh, I'm
Do you
thinking
like
of
me?
my kids like showing me like their artwork that they did or
Uh-huh.
something. Like, do you
Mom.
like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I know. So it's so good to talk about and bring up, just to normalize it too, right? Like us,
Yeah.
we do this work and helping others move through this work all day, every
Mhm.
day. And
Yeah.
it still comes up and it just normalizes that you never get to a finish line of this work, right? You're always relating to the wounded parts of you. And there's days where they feel a little safer, more secure. And then there's going to be days where they feel vulnerable. And those are the days that we have to do this, talk about it, name it, connect with others
Yeah.
on it, because that's ultimately what
Oh,
helps.
absolutely. And it's such a good reminder of how we can do that for ourselves. Like how the little girl
Yes.
inside of us is like, do you like this? Do you like what I spent
Yes.
all these months
I
creating? And
know.
you get to tell her like, oh,
Like,
I
yeah,
love it.
I
That's
do.
amazing. Yeah.
Right.
You
I'm proud of
go.
it.
That's going on the fridge.
Yes. Oh, so true.
Oh,
Such a good
yes.
reminder.
Love that.
That was a really interesting part of the week. That's for sure
Yeah.
for
Well,
me.
thanks for
But
sharing that.
yeah, I thought it would resonate because I know that I'm not alone in that. That's for sure.
It really does. So, with your vulnerability, I am curious. So, what we were going to talk about today,
Mm-hmm.
what we feel like we should talk about is why so many people will just say they're fine when they're
Uh-huh.
actually not. And
Right.
so, you're sharing really vulnerably here. And I feel like I try to do the same often, but sometimes I don't.
Uh-huh.
And so, I'm curious for you, what comes up for you when you think about that? Like, why have there ever been
Yeah.
times where you
Yeah.
have said you're
Oh,
fine instead of sharing the vulnerable answer?
oh, always. Like, and I think this actually probably happens more. I'm more likely to say I'm fine, no big deal, with like maybe like the closest people to me, which,
Mm,
is I think common for everybody because it kind of replicates the environment that you grew up where the closest people to you had to just say, I'm good, all is good, right? We didn't get to really always talk about what was really happening because it just wasn't modeled. But oftentimes, if I'm saying I'm fine, I think if I'm thinking about it like with my husband, or I'll usually say it mostly, and sometimes it's out of like wanting to take care of him. Like, I'm
mhm.
good, I got it. Because I'm such a doer. It's like I could be like feeling really tired, right? Or, if my son's freaking out, right? And I'm feeling really, really stressed or feeling overwhelmed. Monday night when I'm really stressed, I'm like, this was the worst bedtime night, right? Like it was just probably one of the top biggest meltdowns we've ever had. And I like,
oh no. Oh, really? Megan.
Yes. But you know what? He was probably like feeling my energy, right? I was like a little off, a little more anxious. And I remember looking at Mike being like, I feel like I'm going to crawl out of my skin right now. I've got to go downstairs for a minute. I got to take a minute and come back. But usually that again, that's a rare case for me of like actually saying, I'm not fine. I got to go. Usually I'm the one that's like, nope, it's fine. I got it. You go ahead. Like you go ahead, take a break. If you're feeling stressed, I can do it. I got it. And then I'll maybe deal with the feelings later. That's kind of my natural go-to state of like, I'm just going to push through, right? There's an issue here. I'm going to tackle it. We're going to do it. And if you need help, I got you, right? Like I'm trying to just, take care of everybody. That's usually where it comes in. If I sense somebody else is distressed or needing a break, then I'm going to be the one to say, I'm good. I'm fine. I'll take care of me later. So
do you feel like that was the way that you showed up in your family system, in your family of origin?
I would say so. I mean, I was the youngest, which I am the youngest.
Oh, you're the baby.
I'm the baby. Yeah, but I'm the only girl. So in a way, I'm an eldest daughter, but but youngest. So that's an interesting dynamic, I think, to play, because I very much have the typical eldest daughter traits, because technically I am. And so, I think I just learned like, all right, if there's stuff going down, I can just do something about it. I can do this. I can achieve. I can be perfect. Like I turned any stress into doing. Just felt more in control that way. So definitely learned that as my coping mechanism. I'm so curious, how about for you? How does this manifest for you?
I think you're right. I think I'm fine comes up when I am showing up as the caretaker. I do feel, and even my mom and my sister and my brother would probably tell you the same thing. Like my family role was kind of the caretaker, the strong one. Like, so that feeling of, it was always just kind of like, well, Amber's going to be okay. Like she can figure it out, even, even to this day. Well, not to this day, because my mom did pass away, sadly. I'm laughing about that. That's like, I know. No, it's just kind of like, actually, no, not to this day, because she's dead. I love you, Mom, but got to do a dead mom joke in there, really make people uncomfortable. But like, we had conversations about that in the past, and I had said something along the lines of, I feel like you never helped me. Like whereas with my sister and my brother, like she helped them a lot more, and she knew kind of how to show up as mom for them. I felt like a little bit more than me. And she told me, well, you never needed help. And I was like, it's like, even as a kid, if I tried to help you, you didn't need it. You didn't want it. And I was like, that is such an interesting thing that was going on in her mind, that she literally perceived that me as a child never needed help. Right. And so I think it's interesting. I don't know what, for her caused her to perceive it that way. I know that I at a very young age, cared for my brother a lot, like would be the one that was caring for him, and, wanted to take care of my baby. She's my baby.
Oh.
And so, but some way, somehow she perceived that I didn't need help.
Interesting.
And so,
I wonder if it felt like if your demeanor felt like this rejection of her, like whatever, like you were doing.
I love that you named that. You're so spot on. That you are a good therapist, aren't you? That is so freaking spot on. That's what it was like, a rejection of her. Like she felt like I didn't need her, and that to her was perceived as rejection, which then in turn caused her to kind of reject me and like diss herself, And that is so spot on. Yeah.
Oof. And I think, I can imagine that many will resonate with this dynamic. I feel like I hear this dynamic all the time. And it's such again, your mom not having the insight, right? Just like not having the awareness, not having Instagram therapists and parent coaches to tell her.
So true.
Right. That like,
I know.
That, even though you're a kid and you might be a very capable, competent, strong-willed kid, that you still have needs under the surface, and that your feelings are not a personal rejection of her, that they're just information about you. And
and I think it speaks volumes to attunement, right? Like I think, and that's something you and I have talked about, and I know you talk about it a lot too, like that attunement of a parent. And I think about my husband now. I think about you talking about your situation when your son was throwing a fit, and like, just I need to like, not throwing a fit. That sounds bad. Yeah. He was having a dysregulation.
Yes, he was very dysregulated.
He was struggling. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I used that, throwing a fit. But yeah, like he was having some dysregulation, and you were just like, I need a minute. I feel like now, if I tried to tell my husband I'm fine, and I wasn't, he's so attuned to that. He would be like, oh yeah, you're not. Like, there's no way you're even like close to being fine right now.
Yep.
So I think that's also important to know. Like, we can find people who do attune to us, that maybe we do kind of slip into those old patterns, and that they know, like they know,
they see it, they can call it out. Yeah. Yep. Totally.
You're not fine.
You're not fine at all. Yeah, and that's okay, right? Like, we want to give you what you need. And honestly, that is, again, like relational healing. We love when that happens. And with Mike too, I love those moments when he can be like, yeah, there's you're fine. No, just so not. And it's just, and it's so nice, because I love, even in our relationship dynamic, I think when we first started dating, I think I was very much maybe the more of the overfunctioner, really capable one. He had more I was going to say more feelings, but more outward expression of his emotion, right? Less like if he was feeling it, right, we were going to talk about it. And no, versus me, I was going to hide it. And so we really like come to this place of obviously such a good balance, where he's always really encouraging and pulling it out. It's become to the point where I'm like, right, like the therapy talk has really rubbed off on him. When he calls me out, I'm like, damn it.
Oh, I love that. I love that though, because I think it is really helpful, because I still think there is some that resistance to say I need a break, or like a resistance to say I'm actually not okay right now. I actually can't handle this.
Not good.
And it still feels really vulnerable even after all this time, even with relational safety. Like, there are still moments where it does feel really vulnerable.
Totally.
And I still do see that. I love my siblings so much. We are very close, but I still see that in them sometimes. I think that if I have a breakdown moment with them, they're just like, oh my gosh, we had no idea. Like, we just thought you were like good. Like, I had no idea that you were going through all that, And I'm like, how can you see me doing all this and like not feel like, not know that I'm like dying inside,
Right.
And so I think that still kind of like carries through, just like, even though my mom is gone, there's this feeling of just like, oh, well, Amber's gonna be fine,
Right. She's gonna be totally fine, right? She doesn't need us. And oh man, I mean, I feel like we could like, I want to bookmark that, because I feel like we could probably do a whole episode.
Ooh, family of origin stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Because I have so many questions about how it all played out after your mom died and all of that. But I imagine that will take us into a very long conversation.
Oh yeah. We should talk about that at some point though.
Yeah. Sure. But remind me, are you the oldest, or are you in the middle?
I'm the middle.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely, I feel like a lot of the time present as the oldest.
As the oldest, obviously. Yeah.
So
that should be a term, right? Like presenting oldest daughter.
Yes, totally. I don't know if my sister would agree with that. I'd be curious to see what she says. So we'll have her on next week, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh, that'd be great.
Would that be so fun? I would love for her to come on. Oh my gosh. We should have our siblings on.
Yes. Oh my God. My brothers would die. They would die. They are.
How many brothers do you have?
I have two older brothers, which is like the best. Like, they're the loveliest and quintessential protective older brothers. But talking about emotions, no thank you.
They're not having it.
They're not going to have it. or at least not in a platform like this.
Oh yeah, I get
So
that. I get that. It's not for everybody. That's for sure.
yes, that is where we differ. But they're the best. But that's a journey for me too. And it's interesting. It's one that I did not write about so much in the book, but I think it's out of protection of them and where they are.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but,
I love that.
But yeah, but interesting. Like I think that's a part that I know I've explored a lot in therapy, but it's one too where it's like, oh, okay, I have a totally different, experience maybe of myself and of our family than maybe where they are, and there's a lot to it, but sometimes it feels lonely on my end of like, oh, we don't necessarily get to like have the same kind of depth conversations around some things because there are some pieces that maybe I've looked at and explored that maybe they're like, oh, yeah, we're good. We'll leave that over there. So,
yeah.
so it's interesting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I love that you named that. And every child does have a totally different experience, And so I definitely know my siblings can't relate to a lot of what I say. They can relate to a lot of what I say, and they definitely had a lot of trauma as well and stuff. But some things like they're kind of like, oh, that was your experience. And they've never invalidated it or anything, but it's just like they have validated that they've had completely different experiences.
Yeah. Oof, which is hard. I mean, again, we're just racking up different episode themes for
we've got so much to talk about. I mean,
we do.
It's awesome.
I think we got time.
Go on and on.
We've got time to go on and on. But I wonder if now is a good time to pivot to talking about some pop culture items that we want to
I know you
bring
want
in.
to. I know you want to.
Yeah,
You've been dying to talk about Summer House.
Dying to talk about Summer House. Oh my
Tell
gosh.
me about it, Megan.
I am excited to talk about it, but I'm a little frustrated, let down by the conclusion of the reunion. But to give a little backstory, if you do not watch Summer House, Summer House, I think we mentioned last week, it's a show where a group of, I think now like late 20-somethings, early like 30-somethings, some 40-somethings, go to the Hamptons every weekend for the summer. And it's kind of like the real world, but it's just they come every weekend and they're partying, they're having fun. There's, friendships, relationships, all that stuff. And they've been doing this for so many years. So like the current group that's there are some new people, but many of them that have been there have known each other for like 5 to 10 years. They've been doing this show. And so there's these two main characters, I mean, the real people, Amanda and Kyle, who they've been together since kind of season 1. They've been married, but always having a very tumultuous relationship. Like that's been a theme of the show for many seasons now. It's like,
so Amanda and Kyle are still married? Because I had only watched it in the beginning.
Oh,
I mean, like I'd only watched like the first few seasons.
Sure, where they were just getting together. So they're technically still married, but they are not together at this moment in time.
Oh, okay.
The last season was kind of their unraveling of their marriage. Like the season ended where they're agreeing to separate. But to give a insight, Kyle is like very much like kind of a party guy. He owns his own company, works as a DJ, but like very frustrated that Amanda has always been very annoyed with him, right? Like very frustrated by him. He's going out all night. He's always kind of been painted as maybe the bad guy, quote unquote, in the relationship, the one that's not giving Amanda what she needs. And you can see her just always being annoyed by him, always being irritated by him. Like her and the girls are always just like kind of shit talking him. And like, it's just, everyone's like,
not a good dynamic either.
Yeah. Why are you still together? Anyway, so they, by the end of this season are kind of ready to take some time apart. So then there's Sierra, who is best friends with Amanda. She's in the house. And then there's West. So Sierra and West, they 2 seasons ago dated. They got together. Sierra, I resonate with her so much. She's a fellow Capricorn. And I don't know if you are into astrology, but as a Capricorn, we tend to be a little bit more like drawn in our emotions, or like we're not going to show you exactly how we feel. But like with West, she got to be really like silly and fun, and like that's how like I know that feeling, if that's where I feel safest. And like it was you can tell, really good friendship. She was very excited about it, but then West kind of breaks her heart because he doesn't want a full-on relationship. He doesn't want to be a boyfriend. And then Sierra was like, I'm okay, then I'm done. Right. I'm done with you. The next few summers, they would be in the house together, but she was very distant from him and angry, obviously. And so fast forward to this year, they kind of become friends at the end. They have a talk, they have a heart to heart, and they're like, can we just be friends again? And so you see them like come back together as friends. They do make out at one point. But so there's some lines crossed here. But anyway, you kind of see Sierra like be vulnerable again. And I'm like, yay, like we love that for her. But then you come to find out that after the season ended, in the fall or in the winter, it comes to light that Amanda and Kyle, the married couple, they are fully ending their relationship. That's like the first statement. Then people are seeing Amanda, the wife, and West.
I knew it. I knew somebody was going to end up. Oh, goodness.
They're hanging out all over New York together. And people are questioning what's going on. And then there's a lot of talk about it. They're telling everybody that, nope, nothing's happening. We're just friends. That's it. Like they're kind of lying to everybody. And then they put out a statement at the end of March that this has developed into something that neither of them expected. Like just naming that they are now like a thing, which obviously everyone is like, so can't believe that Amanda would do that to Sierra, who Sierra in like the final scene of last summer literally is like holding Amanda's face being like, you're beautiful, you are so strong, you're wonderful, your voice deserves to be heard. Sierra is being that friend who just always lifted Amanda up when Amanda would not say anything or not stand up for herself. Amanda has very low self-esteem. It's so clear. And so to see that happen, right? Like this betrayal of the friendship, especially, right? Like that's the biggest thing, was like shocking. And so the reunion brings us to the reunion.
Yes, I was going to ask you, so what happened at the reunion?
Yes, at the reunion, Sierra like is very, very direct and able to call Amanda out of like, how dare you, right? I did nothing but advocate for you and support you for years inside of her marriage. And then for her to do this is so, especially because West hurt Sierra so much. It's so painful. And what is, and I think everybody's team Sierra. Like I think the whole world internet is all around really supporting Sierra here. But what's so interesting is Amanda and West came into the reunion like so cold, just like really cold. Everybody around them is like crying and grieving and angry that like, how could they break up the whole group by doing this? And like, they're really unclear. Like they're, like they're just, we're taught, like, we've had a lot of talks. We're figuring this out. Like when everyone else is being like, how, like you see West's history, right? He had a girlfriend this whole time. Like he's someone who is so non-committal. He's not a committal type, right? He's dated many people at once, and they're all like, Amanda, how could you like give all of this up for that? And lots of questions of like, did they both take something to like make them so emotionless during it? But what is so striking to me is like someone like Amanda, who she had said in one of the last episodes of this season when she was exploring if she could leave the marriage, she's like, I just worry so much, like if anybody else will love me. Like I think that's literally what she said. And so you can see that, I imagine, like in the aftermath of the breakup, right at the end of the marriage, her probably most vulnerable side is wondering, will anybody ever love me again? And if West is the one that initiated, like, hey, is there something here? Because she said the feelings didn't come until he said that. He said this, and then the feelings came. So to me, it's like, ooh, this part of her, again, this like probably really wounded inner part that just really needs to feel secure by someone else telling her that they like her, that they love her, that's what was happening. I think that led to this, but like totally blinded her from like seeing the repercussions. This is going to impact my career, my friendships, everything. Right. And so it was just like really sad at the end to kind of see that. And then for neither of them to like really be able to show emotion. It was just like, I feel like everybody was left a little dissatisfied at the end of it. So really, really interesting, but like truly, obviously from a therapist perspective, so many relational dynamics at play that obviously are very enticing to watch. But when you like sit with the reality of what this is for all of these people, it's sad.
It is really sad. Do you feel like you have more compassion for people that are normally the villains because you're a therapist, or do you feel like you still will be like, stop it. Why do you do that? Or like he's such an
You know,
a-hole. Or like,
I
you know what I mean? Like what?
yes, I was texting with one of my best friends who's also a therapist, and I was like, she's so like it's like I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed by her.
Mhm,
And I can absolutely make a case for being like
mhm,
a compassionate case for her, because I see so clearly that all of this is rooted in her own stuff. Like I want to know everything about her
mhm.
relationship with her parents and her dad especially.
Absolutely. Of
Like I
course.
really need that
Ah,
information. But
I would love
because
to have that.
that is underneath all of this, of course. Same for
Yeah.
West, right? Like it is, their stuff is just so clear, and I think they're like this perfect storm together in that.
Hmm.
But it doesn't excuse, right? I can have compassion for those parts, but it
Hmm.
totally doesn't excuse the behavior that
Hmm.
because it honestly, I was like, it kind of feels like what I'm watching here is like Sierra is like the adult child who has done a lot of therapy, who's so self-aware, right? Who can like call everything out and be so direct about, hey, this is how I feel, this is how you've impacted me. And on the couch in the reunion, right? And Amanda felt like the emotionally immature parent who couldn't see her, right? Couldn't
Hmm.
just own her stuff. Like, right, her sorry
Hmm.
felt so empty, like so not
Hmm.
like she did not make it clear that she really understood the impact of her actions on Sierra herself, because she's so I think her wounds make her so self-focused and unable to really understand or empathize with those outside of her.
Yeah, and I think that that's like as a therapist, something that comes up for me too is just that like what parts are managing the ship. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
At that point in time, and like
Right.
how those protective parts kind of might come up and be like,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do anything wrong. Well,
Right.
we just were, like
Yeah, we
going
couldn't
by
help how we
what
felt.
he. Oh yeah, I always hated when people say that, like, oh, we
Mm-hmm.
just fell in love. We just like some
Yeah.
accident. We tripped and just
Right.
like fell in love. That's not a thing that I
It's
believe
not a
in at
thing.
all. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? That is, I always tell my clients, I'm like, when we feel intense chemistry with someone right off the bat, that's just
Mm-hmm.
really indicative of a trauma response. Like,
Yes.
you
Yes.
really want to know, like,
Uh-huh.
somehow they're
Yeah.
sinking into your trauma response. And
Totally.
that is that feeling. Like I could never ever trust the person that I was just like madly in love with or
Yes.
super attracted to right off the bat.
Oh,
Like
such a
it
good
had
point.
problems written all over it,
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so
Totally.
I think that that happens, and then those protective parts kind of come up, and then the shame like just
Uh-huh.
causes that dissociation and that
Oh
like
yeah.
detachment from how
Yes.
you've actually harmed other people, and that is
Yes.
like how you
Oh,
protect yourself. So
yeah.
that's my therapeutic
Mm-hmm.
intake. Would you agree?
Perfect. I would agree. I mean, that's spot on. Spot on
Yes.
assessment of what was happening there. So,
Love
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So interesting.
Summer house, bring us on.
I
We are
know,
your
right?
people.
Like we're
This
we
is
are
my call
happy.
to
Bring us
you.
into the clubhouse, Andy. We will dissect this all day.
Oh, I love
Absolutely.
Andy so much.
I
Yes.
know. I know. And wait, remind me what like what's your Bravo show that you're
My
watching
Bravo
right now?
shows that I watch, I'm almost like embarrassed to say it because I like really like I followed the same reality shows that I've always followed. And
Right.
so I'm a big Real Housewives
Right.
person, but the ones that
Mm-hmm.
I'm really into are the ones that have existed for so long that they're now
Right.
like grandmas. So
Right.
it's like they're not wives, like they're all divorced,
Yeah.
most of them. They're not like mothers to young children where they're
Uh-huh.
doing like motherly, like
Right.
most of them are like grandmas, and they still get shit popping though. Those girls, they they're a good time, and they
I
always
love
make me
it.
feel like, sorry, Real Housewives, if any of you are listening to this, but you guys always make me feel like I have my shit together. So thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Shout out. Shout
Shout
out to the
out.
Real
Yep.
Housewives
To the OGs.
grandmas.
Uh-huh. I love it.
I love it.
I will say I if you haven't started Rhode Island yet, that's the other one that I've watched.
Ooh,
Um
okay.
there's
Okay.
actually uh there's a lot of emotional stuff and a lot of childhood exploration. A few of them are really like open and vulnerable about how their their relationship with their, either with their mom or their dad, has impacted them, and they're really
Oh.
open. And there's a scene where Joellen, she's a great character on the show. Her and her sister actually do confront her mom about how her mom raised her, and there's like actually like a really powerful scene where like her mom is first really defensive, but then like kind of softens and is able to kind of attune to her for a minute. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, dang, all right, Real Housewives, this is some good content.
I
so
love that.
I think you'd like it.
My older housewives, they don't do any of that.
They're not talking about
there's no self-exploration going on here.
Attempts at repair. Yeah.
Yes, but I do feel like something that this last season like had, it was for, I think it was the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They had a coach on there, and she is younger. She's one of the newer. She was like a new housewife this time. And her whole thing was like, I think she's like a manifesting money coach. Which okay. I'm also always like about that. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. If I could manifest money, I would have had so much by now, but whatever. Right.
Sure. Yep.
Whatever. I mean, you make really good money on it, so that's also good. But her whole thing is very much, I am just so regulated that I never have basic human emotions. And so I think it's so interesting because a lot of the wives are super dysregulated, and they're like screaming at each other, and that is the way they communicate, and they're completely unhinged, and they're throwing stuff and everything, and just completely out of hand. But of course, great television,
great TV. Yeah.
But she is like the dysregulated, the opposite of just like, I like, oh, like that, like you're screaming at me right now, but I'm so zen that like there's literally nothing. Like her voice is so flat, and I'm just like, oh, please show us something. Like that's also not healthy. It's okay to be like, ooh, this is dysregulating to me,
right? And having a feeling
that's normal.
Yeah. I would question where the lack of emotion is really coming from. We'll see.
But I kind of feel judgy saying this because I do love the Housewives. Like I love you guys. If for some reason you come across this podcast, I love you guys so much, and I'm rooting for you all.
Yes, I hear you. Right,
and Summer House people too. I'm rooting for you guys, and all reality television people, because I really think they do get a little bit of a shitty hand.
For sure. It's so true. I mean, I listened, and maybe this will go into what's something that we're loving this week.
Oh, yes.
So what I'm loving is I listened to Armchair Expert.
Oh yeah, I listened to him too. He's good.
Love so good. That podcast. And they interviewed Hannah Berner, who was on Summer House, like seasons, I think like 4 and 5 or 3, 4, 5. And they talked about the edit that she got, and that she often got this like kind of villainizing edit, but that when you're doing it, when you're shooting it, like when they're filming, you actually don't know what's happening, like what the producers are thinking, and how hard that was, and that when she got fired from the show after season 5, like how that was really hard for her, but like she took it, and she was like, well, okay, now I'm going to get a Netflix special, and like just like took that like perceived like quote unquote failure and was like, now here I go, I'm going to do this. And then she did, right? Like, which is so cool. And it was so interesting to hear her experience of what it was like to be on reality TV, and kind of how she got to where she is now. So I really loved that. Like, I felt like that was a good episode that kind of mixed the Summer House stuff, but also like I needed to hear that message of, you can go through the thing that like the perfectionist in you, and she talked about being a perfectionist, right, is like always afraid of any sort of failure, but then you get to take it and make something even more beautiful and exciting out of it. So that felt resonant to me.
Yeah. Yes. And thinking about that, like, and the vulnerability of being seen and putting yourself out there. I mean, it's one thing to do it through content creation and podcasts and everything, but like actually having cameras film you and then edit you in the way that they want you to be perceived. And I know that a lot of the reality TV shows, like, they don't pay barely anything. In fact, Nick Thompson from Love is Blind talks about this a lot. And I think he created something having to do with mental health for reality stars. Wow. So because we're talking about what we're loving, I would look that up. Like, if anybody who is listening that, like has been on reality TV or anything, just looking up Nick Thompson and his organization. It's a nonprofit, and he connects he gets, I think, mental health care or something for reality TV
Wow.
shows, because he talks a lot about his mental health and like how it was impacted by the
I'm
show Love Is Blind.
sure. Whew.
And he's he is such a sweetheart, but he did come across as kind of a little bad
Sure.
on Love
Yeah.
Is Blind, you know,
Yeah,
just different
I recall.
aspects. Yeah,
Right.
you remember?
I remember him. Yep. I
Yeah.
do. Yes.
Yes. So
Oh,
that might
that's
be
so
something
fascinating.
that I feel like people could learn more about, and maybe even
Yeah.
like, you know, just check out and support.
Right. Because you were on his podcast, right? He has a
Yeah,
podcast?
that's how,
so
yeah,
cool.
he had reached out to me and he was so nice. And he was just like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
if you ever want to start a podcast, like I'd be more than happy to like help you with anything you need. And he's
so
very, very
great.
sweet. And he's in
Oh,
Chicago. He lives in
right.
Chicago.
I thought
Yeah,
so. Wait, we should
yeah.
totally have him on to like talk about reality TV.
He told me he would. So maybe I'll
Let's
reach
do
out to him and
it.
be like,
Yes.
can
You want
we
to
talk
come?
about this?
Yeah.
Oh my
We should
gosh, I'll
talk.
totally do that. I would love that.
Yes.
He's so nice too.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Done. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Okay. Well, that's our plan.
All right. That's our plan.
I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he'll come on the pod
Love
and
it.
talk
Love it.
about like his mental health journey. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
interesting to
Oh, I
hear?
would love it. I mean, literally,
Especially
it
'cause we're talking
manifests
about
what we
this.
talked about in the first episode, that there needs to be therapists, a therapist room in Love Is Blind. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, that would be so good. I
man.
would like to know his take on that. Like I would love to
Yes.
know about like his take on attachment style too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
what's his attachment style?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay. Well, we all have something to look forward to.
Yes.
So can't wait to make
Coming
this happen.
soon
Coming
to the
soon.
podcast, hopefully.
Yes. Oh, so fun. Well, this is a joy. This is great. I'm so
As
excited
always,
that we
even
are
though
doing this.
my AirPod fell in my boob and, you know, we were having so many technical difficulties with the microphone or figuring it
We
out.
figured it out.
We're here.
Exactly. We're here.
We're doing it.
We're doing it exactly with the intention that we started with, that we just get to be messy and show up and be real. And we are sticking to it. So I love it. So
I
good.
love it. Okay, well, I will talk to you later.
We'll see y'all next week.